when someone complains, here's a philosophy of mine. If someone takes the time to actually complain, that means they're giving you a chance to solve it. Most often, and maybe it's just me, but if I have a bad experience or something doesn't go right, I don't like it, I don't care. I'm just not going to go back. If someone takes the time to complain, at least they're giving you a chance to fix it. And there's a very likely chance that you can recover them. That's what I say. Go get them, go recover it, apologize, fall on the sword, take the L. It's just pizza. Give them pizza and let's keep moving. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Look, I appreciate each one of you for listening to this show, listening to this episode. Before we get back to it, I wanted to tell you about my favorite product right now, Todd's Curry Sauce. I met these guys at the Florida Restaurant Show, Pizza Tomorrow Summit, and I'm telling you, ever since I tried that sauce, I have been putting it on everything in the shop. Chicken wings, pizza, you've seen the pizzas, chicken sandwich, salad dressing, like we've been putting Todd's Curry Sauce on everything, and I'm here to give you a special deal, special offer. Go to their website, toddscurrysauce.com, use code Pizza King, and get 10% off your next order. I promise you, you only need to try it one time. It's going to be the best curry sauce you ever tasted in your life. You're going to start putting it on all kinds of stuff in your shop, even at home. I got a bottle in the pantry here at the house. I got a bottle at the shop. Elliot, Todd, I need another bottle because I'm putting it everywhere. I'm putting it on everything. So go check it out. Use code Pizza King and get 10% off your next order. Peace. Let's get back to it. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Welcome back to the Pizza King podcast. I'm your host, Tyrell Reed, as always. Happy Sunday. We're still celebrating National Pizza Month. Are you tired of me saying it at this point? I'm not. It's the 19th. We have, 12 days left in October. So we're going to keep riding this thing out, going through next Friday through Halloween, which we got to figure out how we can do something special for the Halloween episode. But it's Sunday. You know what that means? I've really been enjoying the Q&A episodes, and I might actually start doing this every Sunday just because it's very fun. And honestly, it helps me, learn and dig a little bit deeper because I don't always know the answers to the questions. So we got a fresh set of questions this week, and I'm just going to dive right in because it's Sunday and I'm ready to go watch some football too. These actually, this week was, last week was a lot of like new store opening questions, kind of things like that, how to get set up. These questions got a little bit deeper this week, more operational and marketing related questions. So I will definitely do my best to answer each one of them. And we'll start right at the top. This one says, how can a small pizzeria compete with national chains on delivery apps without lowering prices? Well, honestly, lowering prices is the worst thing you can do on a delivery app, in my opinion, because folks on that app on delivery apps are not necessarily price shopping, they're convenience shopping. So I would focus on lowering delivery charges, but raising prices to cover costs of the commissions and the food. So it's tough to compete with the national chains because they have such huge budgets and they can be on TV and they can be on radio and they can do those things. The apps make it easier for you to get visibility normally by offering things like BOGO items and, deals like $5 off 25, $10 off $30. Doing those things help you get visibility, but they are far from profitable. If you're going to do something like a BOGO, which we definitely participated in that and we did BOGO deals and we wanted to continue to stay relevant on the apps, just chose items that were, lower in food costs and still able to, get close to breaking even with the discount and commission. Also, operationally, the metrics matter when it comes to your placement on the app, your visibility. It's all dynamic. So they're showing places that are, have the fastest delivery times or order times. Your order times are great. Your order acceptance rate is great. So you look at your performance on Uber. Okay. It's called Top Eats. I don't know why that was escaping me. So when it comes to getting into Top Eats on Uber, which is where you want to be, there's order, online rate, how much you're keeping your tablet online, order acceptance or missed orders or, reducing mistakes got to be under 2%. Let's see here. order acceptance rate, online rate, order accuracy needs to be under 2%, and your rating needs to be above 4.5 to get into top each. So continuing to push those metrics, keeping your tablet on, always accepting orders, auto accept the orders. You should not be manually accepting orders on the third party tablets. Just auto accept the orders. If you're on the platform, why would you not take the orders? And then making sure, your accuracy is there. Now, here's the thing about accuracy. Customers will, complain and do all these things because there's a lot that happens in between order placement and order receiving. So we have to receive it. We have to make sure, obviously, that we have those things available because the menus are different than, oftentimes in our regular menus. But then, once we hand that food off to a driver, anything can happen. So sometimes parts of the orders show up or things like that. And this is where you got to protect yourself because Uber they're not going to, advocate for you. They're just going to give the customer their money if they go in and they do it, and then they're just going to charge it back to you. So you have to always go in and monitor those things. That was like an every week job, was to go in and check, and dispute those things. Like, we got our cameras. Hey, look, this is your driver picking up all of our food. We make sure they accepted the order, and, all of those things. You have to do that every single time because you have to protect your money. They will literally just take that out of your deposit if there's a complaint or if there's a report or something missing. So you got to do that. And that helps your accuracy rate, your accuracy percentage. Yeah. Not missing orders, not skipping orders. So look, I got 4 stores, going in close to top each right now. We got 100% online rate. We got 0.5% missed orders, 1.4% inaccuracy, 98.6% accuracy rate, and rating, average rating 4.7. We want to make sure that we are monitoring those metrics to ensure that we get solid placement on the apps. So that's one way to compete with the chains is, use the algorithms and the metrics in place by the platforms to get placement on those platforms, and then advertise. This one says, what are the top 3 metrics that tell you your marketing is actually working? Sales. So it depends on what your marketing campaign is. If you're doing a digital campaign, and obviously you want to see things like impressions and click-through rate, and how, if you got unique codes, you want to start tracking offers and codes like that. But quick and dirty, are the sales growing? Are the sales growing based on what you're spending? What is it costing you to get those customers? Marketing is tough because it's always based on where you are and what works in your area. If some areas do very well with a mail campaign, then you need to start tracking, you're tracking coupon codes, or if your campaign, like we ran, oftentimes we would just run campaigns for signups. And that was an easy way for us to track. We were just running campaigns for loyalty sign up. And we knew that if we're seeing them, if I'm seeing, 20 signups a day, 30 signups a day, 50 signups a day, then we know that the campaign is effective. If we start to see that dip when we pull it off, then we understand where we got to move. I hadn't had much success running campaigns for order traffic on social media. So that was never something that we were able to really just master, just being fully transparent. I could never find a direct path from online ad or, social media ad to order throughput. So that was a tough one for me. So we only ran campaigns on loyalty signups. This one says, how do you calculate your marketing ROI when most of your traffic comes from word of mouth? I mean, you can track mentions, you can do a referral program, you can do, but just like before, you calculate based on what your sales are. So it's hard to, so if your traffic is coming from word of mouth, then tracking ROI is not relevant because there is no investment. The investment is the work that you're doing and the food that you're putting out. So, you can do a referral program that gives you something to quickly measure, loyalty redemptions. If you have an integrated loyalty program, oftentimes they do have referral programs built into those. Like, we use Thrive POS, and they have, a pretty robust loyalty platform on, integrated with their POS. But it also gave us the ability to run referral programs where folks could, share a link. They get a, code, and they can share their code or their link to to bring more people in and be in return rewarded for that. So in that sense, there is an investment, because if I'm giving you something for referring somebody, then that is my investment. This one says, what should a first time operator focus on? Brand awareness or repeat business? Listen, awareness don't pay the bills. You want business. So as a first time operator, as a new store, as anybody, our number one goal is to continue to bring traffic through the door. The best way to build business long term is through repeat business. You heard me say it so many times. Marketing is attracting new people, but loyalty is drawn in repeat business and loyal customers. And, to me, that's always going to be the best. This one says, how often should you update your menu photos and promotions online? I would say at minimum every season, or, giving it some fresh look. It depends on what you're running. Like if your menu is actually changing, then maybe you just need a fresh look on it if you're using it for marketing reasons. If we're just talking about photos in the store, like those things are static, they don't change much. You only change it as often as you change your menu or your prices. But if you're talking about staying fresh online on third-party platforms, if you get a better picture, I like to take a lot of pictures. So every time I got one that was better than the last one, we changed it. Like we just updated it. It wasn't like a big thing. Like we weren't scheduling photographers and doing all that. It was just every time oh man, I got a Caprese coming out. It looks great. Let's take a picture and then we'll just change the one that we have. Very simple. This one says, what's the best way to turn new customers into regulars? Get their contact info. Get an email address, get a phone number so you can set up a text program, but then stay in contact with them, follow up. Most POS companies are going to have some of these things built in. If they order online, there's usually going to be, some kind of touch point following the order to ask for a review. There's going to be, bounce back offers, things like that you could set up, or, lost customer, programs if someone doesn't order for 30 days and you got that coming. But the best way to do it to me is still going to be get their information and follow up with an email. If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace. All right, this says, how can you measure if your community involvement is paying off? Is it bringing you sales? Is it bringing you business? Are you meeting new people? You know what I mean? You could do that. And then that's a great one to track online. Are you getting the mentions? Are you getting more followers and connections and, reaching more people through those things? That's what I would do. All right. We're getting down the list. What's the right balance between discounts and brand value? Listen, discounts should only be used to attract new customers. And I'm not even a big fan of that because it actually alienates loyal customers. So I would tell you, use it as a way to introduce yourself, give some value up front. Discounts cannot be used as a tool for retention. It's just not going to work for you. It's a downward spiral. Your brand is built on value, then tell that story. Don't give a bunch of discounts. Ooh, this is a good one. How should you handle negative online reviews? Go find them. I'm just kidding. Listen, the best thing you can do is respond fast. Be real, be transparent, but fix it. Fix the issue publicly. You heard blast, right? Believe, listen, apologize, solve, and thank. So the first thing you should do is believe what they're saying. Don't get defensive. Listen to their problem. Try to get them on the phone, but fix it publicly. Apologize publicly, solve it publicly, and thank them for the opportunity to get better publicly. Listen, you want to combat a troll or a hater or somebody's giving you negative stuff online. Thank them. Thank them for highlighting that. I'm sorry that happened to you. That was your experience. That's not typical of us. Let me solve it. Here's our phone number. Call me anytime. We're here to help. And, we appreciate you giving us the opportunity. When someone complains, here's a philosophy of mine. If someone takes the time to actually complain, that means they're giving you a chance to solve it. Most often, and maybe it's just me, but if I have a bad experience or something doesn't go right, I don't like it, I don't care. I'm just not going to go back. You know what I mean? Like if someone takes the time to complain, at least they're giving you a chance to fix it. And there's a very likely chance that you can recover them. That's what I say. Go get them, go recover it, apologize, fall on the sword, take the L. It's just pizza. Give them pizza and let's keep moving. Next order. All right. This one says, how do you know when to start paid advertising and what's the best first channel to try? I would say you don't need to start advertising until you got your operations down. Listen, Bob always told us it's easy to get business. It's hard to keep it. So you can send traffic through your door through paid campaigns, through ads. But if your operations suck, why would you spend money to invite a bunch of people in and show them that you suck? So get good. Make sure you got it down. You got your operations down. You got a consistent staff. Your product's great. Now it's time to start advertising. I would tell you to start with doing things that are local. So like just literally a radius around on Google, do a Google ad, draw a radius, use keywords, and just draw traffic that way. Google has great reporting. You can track the phone calls that come in. You can track the online order links that are coming through. I would tell you and you can start with a small budget. I would start with Google ads for a local business. Oh, we got some operations questions now. It says, what's the single biggest operational change that impacts food cost control? Portioning. Like portioning and honestly, in a pizzeria, cheese. Portioning cheese. Portion it, whatever you do, control your portions and control your waste, and you can keep your food costs under control. Prep for the line, and don't be just so willy-nilly with the product. Protect the product. All right, this one says, how do you balance labor costs when sales fluctuate week to week? The best thing you can do is try your best to forecast. Try your best to forecast and then adjust as the week is going on. Like this is why we stay close to our metrics. This is why we stay in tune with our operations so that we can adjust on the fly. When you have at least a solid projection, and look, projections doesn't have to get complicated. Give me the average of your last 6 weeks sales on each day. If we're going into the week, I'm going to give you an example. If we're going into this week, today is Sunday, we're going to start a new schedule tomorrow. I'm going to look at Monday sales for the last 6 weeks and then determine an average. And then I'm going to write my schedule based on those average sales. Now, logic will tell you, oh, if we want 25% labor, we're going to do 25% every day. That's not actually realistic. You can make up for high labor days on your busy days. So you may be running 35% on a Monday, but you may be running 18% on a Friday. So you got to find some balance in there, but you have to make sure that there's coverage. Again, if you got a good POS system, a lot of this stuff is done for you. All right. This one says, what's the best system for tracking inventory without adding more paperwork? If your POS has an inventory program or an inventory function, use that. Take the time. There is setup on it. So the front end setup takes time, but it saves you time on the back end. Yeah, you have to set up all of your items or import all your items, start to build out your recipes. But you really want to make sure that you give as much detail up front so that you're getting accurate information on the back end. So take the time and set it up. If you can't do something in your POS, then do a simple Google sheet. Keep it easy. This says, how do you decide when it's time to add a manager or an assistant manager? I would say once you realize that you're the problem and you're the bottleneck, that's when it's time to add some help. You're probably a little bit behind there, but we're our framework is the 1-2-1 framework, which means there's always one number one leader. That could be you. There's 2 junior managers and there's 1 person in development at all times. So I would say from the time that you open those doors, you should at least have somebody in development. How can you simplify training without lowering your standards? Be the standard. Live the standard. You can't be the leader who sets things in place and then you do it a different way. You have to live the standard too. And that's how you keep the standards elevated. You simplify training by using the tools, using the checklist, using the guidebooks, using the spec sheets. Have a LMS platform where you can onboard people and take them through the training process if that's in your budget. If not, just start simple checklist, simple routines, but always follow them yourself and then inspect what you expect. This says, what's the most overlooked step in keeping delivery operations profitable? I would say number one, having a system that efficiently routes your deliveries, but then using it like tracking drive time, out the door time. That helps you understand how many people you need to schedule and how to keep the staff right. Cause it's all about scheduling. Delivery becomes, something that isn't profitable when you have more drivers than you need. You got more drivers than deliveries, and people are standing around eating up clock and eating up money without actually, getting out there, getting food out to the customer. So understanding that by using the tools, you tracking out the door times, tracking drive times, and routing deliveries efficiently is the best way to keep it profitable. And then lastly, I would say eliminate mistakes. It costs a lot when you got to send a driver back for something small, or you got to send a driver back for a 2-liter or for a salad that got missed. So making sure that we definitely eliminate those mistakes. And then you can also look at like driver pay structure. Are they tipped employees? Are you paying a minimum wage? Are you doing a delivery comp? All those are strategies that you can use to, either provide value or save some money. All right, we got a couple more. It says, how do you prepare your team to handle unexpected rushes during big events? So it depends on what the event is. You can definitely, start to have conversations beforehand and practice and prepare to handle those things. Simple philosophy is always stay ready. I'm a big fan of saying the rush is always coming. It's funny because when you do this for a long time, you start to understand the rhythms, and, you're used to we've been getting hit at 5:00 every day. You hit at 5:00, and then all of a sudden daylight savings time changes, and it's 5:00, and we're standing around and it's crickets. And your instinct is to, it's going to be slow. I might as well send everybody home. And then you send everybody home and you get your ass kicked. No, when you start to do this and you understand the seasonality of the business, you say, look, let's hold tight because the rush is coming. Everybody eats. It's weird. Everybody eats at the same time, depending on where you are. And it's usually like when the sun goes down. So like, just understand the business, know your seasons, know your customers, and then plan accordingly, but stay ready. Always prep. I remember once I was telling a story, and it's probably if you scroll way down my social, you'll see it. I was telling a story about how we just had a ridiculously slow, unusually slow Monday. Like weird, like what's going on? Like we're checking the phones. Are the phones even on? Is it working? Super slow. But the next day, Tuesday, we literally did more sales in the first hour and a half of business than we did the entire Monday. And I had to call Alan and tell him thank you because he worked the Monday. He was there on his own. He worked all day, but he still prepped it like it was normal business, even though it was super slow. He still went through his routines. He still prepped it like we were going to get, like we were getting what we were supposed to get. And if he had said, oh, it's slow, I don't need to do a batch of dough, or I won't cut that cheese, it's so slow, we didn't even go through anything, we would have been in trouble on Tuesday. Because like I told you, we ran through so much product and so much sales in the first hour and a half. If we weren't ready, if he hadn't prepared, we would have been screwed. So always prepare like it's going to happen. All right. It says, let's see here. What data should you check daily to know your shop is running right? Sales, labor, food costs. Then you start tracking, ticket averages, ticket time, customer feedback when you're getting deep into it, when you have some time, but on a daily basis, sales, specifically sales growth over, last week, last year, last month, food cost percentage, ticket times. All right. Moving on. We got 2 more. How do you create accountability without micromanaging? Shift huddles. Give shift huddles. Talk about like it's not going to kill you to before every shift or whoever the manager on duty is before every shift to say, hey, look, this is what we're focusing on today. Hey, it's going to be a busy Halloween. We got a lot of deliveries tonight. Let's make sure our bags are clean. Our bags are ready, empty. We got everything ready. Go get your gas. Like, let's talk everybody into the shift every day, every game. Like, let's just be ready. Be clear about it. Give clear metrics and then just review and get better. Review with your leadership team and making sure that we're making improvements every week. It's not, you don't have to micromanage and do this thing where we got to have meetings every day and all that. Just a quick little huddle and say, look, this is what I want to focus on today. It says, what's the best process for handling consistent underperformance? Listen, if your team is consistently underperforming, then they have inconsistent leadership. Handling consistent underperformance is to be a consistently high performing leader that identifies, coaches teams in the moment, and solves things. Like, it starts at the top. You have to be consistent if you want your team to be consistent. That's the ugly of it, but that's the real. If you're inconsistent, then your team's going to be inconsistent. Don't start blaming. Identify the problems, coach people up, make decisions quickly, fix things, and then rinse and repeat. Inspect what you expect. But that's it. That was 20 questions. This was fun. Looking forward to getting more next week. You can email me those at info@tyrellreed.com if you got questions you want to ask on the show. You can DM me on Instagram or Facebook, any of the pages. You know how to find me, Peak Team Podcast, Tyrell Reed Sr. And I would love to get on here and talk about them. We got one more Sunday left in October, and then we got to decide if this is something that we're going to do every week or not. But that's all I got for you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Pizza King Podcast. We're out of here. Peace.